Hey guys, we are in the basement, and today, today guys, we're gonna be doing a John's Arcade tech video. We're gonna go in the garage and we're gonna work on something, and we're gonna have lots of fun. Why not? Let's have fun today. Anyway, before we start, I wanna share something with you guys because I did some decorating down in the basement today. I did. Now, if you guys remember, a couple of months ago, I picked up this skateboard right here, okay? It is an original 1983 Tony Hawk. That's right, 1983. This is all original, vintage, 1983, just like a lot of the video games down here. I mean, really, this piece belongs down here because back in the day, I was riding skateboards like this to 7-Eleven to play these games. Anyway, super cool deck, pretty rare, you know, because Tony Hawk was like 15 years old when this thing came out, and he was not a household name. So they really did not make a lot of these skateboards. And this is the kind of thing that you don't want to ride this, okay? This is in actually really good shape. You just want to kind of leave it alone. So I decided to hang it on the wall, and I think it looks really cool. I love it. And then also, I hung this one right here. Now, this is a reissue deck, okay? They actually produced this year, 2015, and I need to thank Daniel Copeland because he sent me this deck. And how cool is that, right? I actually met Daniel at the Southern Fried Game Room Expo. Super nice guy, and he's a hardcore skateboard deck collector. There's a lot of these guys out here who collect all of these skateboards, and they're actually they get really stupid expensive. But this one is a reissue. Paul Peralta has been reissuing these skateboards from my childhood, from the 80s, and they do them in limited runs, and this one has sold out already. This is the pink one. Now, this board here came after this one. This is called the pig deck because it has it's a big, round, fat oval, and really, it's horrible to ride. It really is. It's too big. And then this one came after that board, and it still has the same artwork, the kind of chicken skull, but this one has more of a shape to it and cutouts. Anyway, super cool. I love it. Daniel, thank you so much for sending me that skateboard. I mean, really, skateboarding, music, guitars, video games, this is my life, guys. Yeah, I know. John, you're way too old to be skateboarding, and you're probably right, but you know what? I like getting out there and doing stuff. I don't want to just sit on the couch and be a big lazy guy. I like to go out and do stuff. You know, I longboard, I carve, I go to the skate park and just do like kick turns and stuff. I'm horrible, but I still enjoy trying to do it. And I also have these skateboards up here, which I think are really cool. Now these ones I found on eBay a while ago, and I don't know who made them. It does say on the other side, I don't remember, but they just kind of showed up on eBay, and I grabbed most of them. I'm actually missing one of them, but we have 720, there's Dig Dug right there, Donkey Kong, Galaga, and Centipede. I'm actually missing the Pac-Man one, and if you guys know where I can find that Pac-Man one, I'd love to get it, because I don't actually have a spot for it, because it doesn't really fit. Actually, I guess if I remove that stuff up there, it would fit. But anyway, we're not here to talk about skateboards. All right, so what are we doing today, guys? Well, I thought we'd do something kind of fun. I did. You know, I cleaned the garage today, and I'm out there, and I'm like, what are we gonna do today? And I'm looking at, excuse me, God. And I'm looking at all the projects, and I'm like, do I really want to do this today? And I said, yeah, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do something you guys have been asking me to do for a long time, okay? And we're gonna have fun with it. We're gonna fix this wobbly table. We are. I have no idea why this thing is wobbling. You know, I've looked at this a whole bunch of times, and it's not that it's out of level, okay? If you look at when it wobbles, the legs don't, on the bottom here, there's little screw-in things. It's all level, okay? The problem isn't that. The problem is somewhere in here, okay? And so I thought it'd be fun to fix this wobbly table once and for all. What do you guys think? We're gonna go in the garage, we're gonna dissect this table and figure out what is going on with it and what is making it wobble. And I think if we could stop this wobble, I think it will make you guys happy. Because I've gotten so many wobbly table comments. It's actually kind of comical, and they actually kind of made me laugh. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna fix it. I thought it was funny. So, but you know what? We're gonna try to fix it in this video. I actually don't even know what's gonna happen because I haven't really attempted to truly fix it. So anyway, I thought we'd go to the garage and we're gonna work on this thing. We're gonna dissect the issue and we're gonna come up with a solution to stop this thing from wobbling so you guys are happy. So, all right, guys, let's bring the table to the garage and let's get to work and fix this wobbly table. All right, guys, we're in the garage. And by the way, I cleaned up the garage. Look at it in here. It's so nice to be clean. But pretty happy. Actually, I actually hung, yeah, I guess I did a bunch of decorating today. I hung my Dragon's Lair and Space Ace posters in the garage. You know, I had every intention of hanging those in the basement, but there was just nowhere to put them. So I hung them on the wall here in the garage. I think they look pretty good. They're probably gonna get trashed out here. I'm a little worried about that, the humidity. But, you know, they're just reproductions. Who cares? I mean, I have also a Wreck-It Ralph. That's like an official poster. Someone, I think someone stole that from a movie theater. And they brought it to my house at one of my parties. I don't know. It's pretty cool, though. I like that Wreck-It Ralph. And my shoot to win. Yes, this is the John Decorates His World episode. All right, anyway. The table is in here, guys, and we are gonna figure out what the heck is making this thing wobble, okay? Because, look it, if I wobble this right now, okay, the problem is not these leg levelers, right? It's not. That is not the issue. The leg levelers are level, okay? The issue is right in here, okay? This is where it's wobbling, and if we lift this up, we can see that this post makes contact with this base, right? And it's not tight enough. There's just like a bunch of give. Let's kind of zoom in on there. Watch this. So there's where the wobbling is happening, okay? Now, this post on the bottom is tapered, okay? It's tapered and it kind of goes into the bottom. It kind of looks like this, right? So the post comes down and then it tapers in like so, right? And there's like a tapered area here. And then it goes into that female, you know, receptacle or socket, whatever you want to call it, and then the legs come off like so, right? Okay, so this goes in there. So I thought about, well, if we fatten this up, right? If I got some tape, okay, and we just kind of put tape around this, would that tighten it up? Is that all we need to do? Or I got some of these bolts. I was thinking, once this is in here, what if we threw some nuts in here, and then on the inside had, so we throw a bolt through this side, okay? And then on the inside, we had a nut with a lock washer. I think that would certainly hold it down, right? So I think we're gonna try that first. And I grab a bunch of nuts out of my junk drawer. So I think we're gonna use this guy right here. And I have a little lock washer. This is all I have on hand. So I think this will work. And then, so we use this bolt with the nut and then a lock washer. But what we're gonna need to do though is we need to drill a hole. Okay, so we're gonna have to drill a hole in the base here, like right here. That goes through this collar and into the center spindle, whatever you want to call it. And so let's push this down as far as we can. And if we can tighten this up, that might do it for us. So let me grab my drill bits here, okay? Yes, guys, we are fixing a wobbly table. So I don't know how well this is gonna go drilling through this metal. We'll see. I have a feeling that the drill bit's gonna walk on me. Maybe we'll just drill a small pilot hole first. And we also have to kind of get it in the fattest part in here. Now, I'm not too worried if the nut gets tight in here and it's hitting the sides. I'm okay with that. I think that'll be just fine. But I'm a little worried about my ability to drill through this metal, so this will be interesting to see what happens. And I'm just gonna go for it, okay? And how about like right about there? Yeah, see, it's walking. So I don't have like a center punch or something, do I? See if we can get it to grab. There it goes. All right, so we have to go through there. Now, before I go all the way through, though, I want to make sure that table itself is all the way down far. So I'm going to put a lot of weight on this and just really press it down. Okay. All right, so let's continue our drilling here. This might do it. We have to go through this, then the center column. And I'm using a new drill bit set. All right, so there's our hole, okay? Not big enough, though. We have to make it pretty large, actually. This is like almost 1/4 of an inch. So let's enlarge it. Let's go up to 7/32. So this is our nut. It's larger than that. So let's just go 7/32 and then we'll go up one more. All right, let's see if we can make this bigger. Or not. This might be too much of a step here. There we go. All right, so let's go up one more. Because this will not fit in there yet. Nope. So let's go up to 1/4 inch. Is this exciting? This is like a challenge now. We have to make this thing stop wobbling. All right, let's go up to 1/4 inch. All right. Let's see if this will fit in there. And it does. Okay, so it does kind of hit this stuff. But that's okay. So let's go on the inside here with our lock washer and a nut. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the table on its side like so. All right. So let's come over here. All right, so I'm going to come in with a lock washer. And this is going to be miserable, isn't it? All right, so we got to get that lock washer on there. Boy, this is going to be hard to tighten down, guys. And then our nut. All right, so let me get the threading started. Okay. It is started. Okay. Just have my hand on the nut here. All right, so let me grab a nut driver right here. Okay. Let me grab my electric screwdriver. Let's see if we can tighten this thing down. Now, I might have to get a box wrench and put it on the inside here to kind of hold that nut so it doesn't spin. So let me get the right size nut driver. And I really want to tighten this down like super tight because I don't want this to move anymore. All right, so let's get this 3/8 wrench. And it's not 3/8. Let's try half. I'm not sure if half is good or not. All right, so let's put our nut driver on the nut. Okay. This is kind of hard because the table wants to fall away. All right. There we go. Okay. So I think I'm going to get my socket set now and really tighten that down. So let me put the table back up. Okay. Let's do a little test here. I think it's better already, I could tell. I think that the leg levelers now are the problem, not the center. So let's grab our socket set and we're going to just wail on that so it's super tight. Okay. And I'm going to really tighten that thing down. Okay, so let's pull the table back. Put it back on its side. This is really awkward. Okay, just like so. And then I'm going to come inside with my box wrench, grab the nut, and then let's tighten this down. Okay. All right, so let's test it now. Did we fix it? All right. All right, guys, did we do it? Let's see. Let's see what happens here. It's still wobbly. I think it's better, though. No, it's totally moving in there. Why is it doing that? I wonder if I throw another screw in on this side. Why is it doing that? Is this not tight enough? I'm not sure if thing's spinning when I tighten it. Let's see. It is. Okay, so I want to get that tighter. See, look at that. It's totally still moving in there. I think we need more than one. Yeah, I think the nut is moving too. So let me tighten that down some more. Let's put it back on its side. Actually, let's put it on its... Let's turn it upside down. Maybe that's the easy way to work on this. Okay. This might be easier, guys. I don't know why I didn't think of this initially. Okay, so we have it upside down. Let's come in with our nut driver. See if we can grab that. Yeah, I think this is too big of a... ½ inch is too big. So what's between 3/8 and a half? 7/16? There we go. That's the right size. All right, I'm just wailing on this thing. That is super tight now. Yeah, I can't even tighten it anymore. All right, let's test it out. Let's put it back on the table here. It's still wobbling. Okay, look it. So look it. So if I move this, it's better, but it's still moving. I think we need to throw another one in, maybe towards the bottom. Let's do that. Let's put the table back on its top, and I have some more bolts here. I'll try to use the smallest ones I have. Got this one right here. I think we'll use that. It's bigger than what we have now, but I don't think I have anything else in my junk bin. Maybe I'll look. So let's take the table and put it back on its top. And then we have one nut right here. So why don't we put one in the back on the bottom right there? And maybe those two together will kind of counteract each other. So we're going to drill a hole right here. So let's get our drill. And we'll start small again. This might be tricky to get in here, but let's go down as low as we can. It's kind of at an angle, but it should be okay. I gotta put it in here without it walking on me. Actually, let's do it right here, which is exactly opposite the other one. Okay, there's our first hole. So let's go up a size. Okay, let's go up to 1/4 inch. All right, there's our 1/4 inch hole. Let's see, this nut might be fatter than that though. Yeah, it's way fatter. And I think we're gonna start hitting this, which I don't know if that's gonna be a problem or not. This is starting to get a little ugly. All right, so let's try 5/16. tighten that up more. Okay, there's our 5/16 inch hole. All right. So that kind of goes in there. So let's put this nut on here. It's just gonna spin. Ah, shit. That's a bad spot. Because we're gonna have to tighten it from the inside. Because this thing's gonna get to a spot here where it's just wedged. Maybe that'll be okay. Let's tighten this up. I don't have any more lock washers, so I'm just gonna have to make the best of it here. So 1/2 inch. This is actually working just fine. All right. Tighten the heck out of it. All right, I mean, that is tight. So we got one on this side, on the bottom, on the top actually, and on this side on the bottom. And will those two counteract each other? All right, let's test it out. My God, this better fix it. Okay, so let me bring the table back up here. All right. Okay, so right now the leg levelers, I can see that they're not even. So let me bring these down. And we'll do these fine-tune adjustments in the basement too. All right, so the leg levelers themselves are, I'm just gonna hold this. Oh yeah, that's way better, guys. Okay, I think we might have fixed it here. I do. I think that this is not wobbling anymore at that collar. It's in there. So the only wobble we have is because of these feet. It's funny, if you look at this, it looks like, I don't know if it's my table. It doesn't look straight. See that? It's kind of leaning. Not sure what to make of that. But I think we got it here. So we're gonna have to just fine tune these, okay? So I think that's a lot better than it was. We're gonna have to test this. Let's see. Let me put it down here. All right, so I got it on the ground, and right now the issue is the leg levelers because they're what's moving. So if we come over here and I raise this one, lower that one till it's flush. Oh yeah. That's good, guys. Let's see, let's do a little test here. Now, we're gonna have to do the final test in the basement, right? All right, so let's test it out. Hang on, we got to see the table, right? Now, I don't have like, see, it's still wobbly, but the wobbliness is not coming from the base, it's coming because the leg levelers are not fully extended. I can see that the issue right now is this one needs to come down. Okay. There we go. Let's see. Guys, I think we fixed it. I think we just need to go in the basement. We're gonna bring it down there, and then we're gonna fine tune the leg levelers. But before, the biggest problem was that shaft, whatever that this tabletop is mounted on, where it goes in that collar. There was play there. It wasn't a tight fit. And now that we've added those two nuts and bolts, it can't move on that anymore. So the only problem is the leg leveler. So we just need to go down and adjust the leg levelers. I think we got it, guys. So, all right. So why don't we bring the table back to the, and by the way, I've been thinking about this. God, the table is leaning though. Look at it. It's totally leaning. It's leaning to the left, but it's, oh man, is it is it because of those nuts we threw in there that it's going to one side? No, or is it just the way it's level? No, it's the leg levelers. This side is up way too high. All right, so we're gonna go in the basement and we're gonna fully level. I should bring my level in the basement too, and we should level this off completely, and we'll adjust the leg levelers and we'll make the whole thing level and square with earth. I gotta find my leveler, and I was thinking too, wouldn't it be cool if I made like a John's Arcade bar top for this? I know other guys had suggested that already. But I've been really looking at this table and thinking about that because that Patriots, and by the way, I am not a Patriots fan at all. I could care less about the New England Patriots. But this, the reason I have this is because it was cheap. I got it on eBay, and I was looking for like a commercial quality bar table, and I didn't want to spend a lot of money. It was about $100 or something like that. It just so happens, I live in the New England area, but I could care less about these guys. I'm from Chicago. I'm not a Patriots fan. But anyway, I was looking at this, and there's like literally just T-molding on here, right here. See that? You could pop it off. There's T-molding with glue. So we could pop off the plexi that's on here, which I think is reverse silkscreen, and get ourselves a piece of clear plexi cut into a circle. Now, I don't know how hard that would be to find someone to cut me a perfect circle for this. And then I could print my own artwork. I could do that at, Kinko's or wherever, and print my own artwork, cut it to a circle, put it on here, and then put a piece of clear plexi over this. And I could have like a cool John's Arcade bar table. I think that'd be pretty awesome. But we need to go in the basement and get this thing level. So right now, it's not leveled very level that way, and it's definitely not level that way. Look at that. But I think we can fix that with the leg leveler adjustments, because this side right now is way up. So, all right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna bring this back to the basement, okay? And then we're gonna do our final adjustments, and then we're gonna do our final test, because we're gonna do viewer mail, and we're gonna see how this thing really holds up now. Did we really fix the table? I know, this is so stupid. We had to do this though. You guys kept telling me the table was too wobbly. So, all right guys, let's go back to the basement. And by the way, I'm kind of digging my projects. I have to admit, I got some pretty quality projects in here. Quantum, and by the way, the quantum thing, this is going to be escalating because Ian Kellogg is coming over next weekend, and we'll be doing a video with him and talking about quantum. And he's bringing something, which I did kind of reveal on Arcade Outsiders. The iRobot, I have a power supply rebuild kit coming also from Ian Kellogg at iankellogg.com. The Nintendo Versus, I have to just get this over with. This I should probably try to sneak in the next week or two. Computer Space, I'm saving that to the end. That's going to be a late year project. And then the Firefox, I'm waiting for Franz to fix the Laserdisc player. And I have high hopes that he's going to fix it. And once he fixes it, we just throw it in there and we're done, because this game and this cabinet are perfect. So there's really not a lot to restore. So, and then the Sprint, I don't know what's going to happen with the Sprint 2. I've had a lot of guys lately asking me about the Sprint 2, and we need to fix that monitor. Ugh. I've already rebuilt it, and there's a resistor on there that is glowing red when I turn it on. So there is some dead short somewhere on the Sprint 2. I would like to fix that game though, because it plays blind, and I think the PCB and power supply all work. It's just the monitor. So anyway, all right, let's go back down to the basement. Let's see if we fixed our table, and let's do some viewer mail. All right, guys. All right, let's go back down here. I already brought the table down. And I actually spent a little bit of time leveling it, and I think I have it fairly level. I basically just played with the leg levelers on the bottom till it wasn't moving that much, okay? And so we got the table in position here, and so I was messing with the leg levelers, and so if we wobble this, does it really move easily? Now keep in mind though, guys, this is like this tall pole. It has a very high center of gravity, right? I mean, how do you overcome this? I mean, short of putting sandbags on the bottom, I don't know what to do, okay? But I mean, it's not rock solid. It's not cemented into the ground, right? But if you look at the legs, the leg levelers are not lifting, they're not moving, right? So it might be the nature of the beast here. Now, we might have made it better. I don't know. Now, I took my level, and this way right here, it's horrible. It is really not level at all. But then this way it is, okay? But I think I can live with that. I think that this thing is kind of at an angle in the base. Now, I don't know if we did that when we screwed it down, but it's not perfectly straight. Now, if I sit at this, though, I don't think I'll be able to detect an angle, you know? So I think we're done, okay? You know, I came down here, I adjusted these leg levelers, you know, basically just spin these, right, till they're touching the ground, and then I did a little test to see if they lifted up, and they're not doing that anymore. These are just threaded, you know? And so if I move this, the leg levelers are not lifting up, okay? So I feel like I have all the leg levelers in a good spot. And so why don't we test this out? We're gonna test it out with some viewer mail. Now, of course, we should clean it first. Let's clean this up. I got some Windex and paper towel. Now, I don't use Simple Green on Plexi or Plexi-like surfaces because it's kind of oily. So I'm just gonna use some good old Windex here, and let's wipe this thing down. Now, I do think too that, you know, when the popcorn table is, the popcorn machine is on the table, I do think the wobbly effect is magnified, guys. All right? I do. I think it's magnified because we have such a high center of gravity. And the popcorn table is adding to that. But we'll see. Let's see what happens. Let's do a viewer mail with our new table, with our new modified table. And if this doesn't fix it, I don't know what to tell you. If you guys still detect wobbliness, yeah, I don't know what to say, man. I mean, do I need to get a 4-legged table? Is that the problem? Because this table is like a pedestal? Do I need to get a table that has 4 legs, a traditional, you know, kind of a kitchen type table, but taller? Maybe. All right, so I got the viewer mail here. Let's put the popcorn machine back on here. And I know this is going to add to our kind of height profile, right? All right, so let's try this out. We're gonna do an official viewer mail now with our modified table, and let's see what happens. Is it gonna wobble? Get my coasters here. I got myself a beverage because when John talks for a while, he gets very dry throat. Like when I'm doing my podcast, I always have a drink, many drinks, because I can't keep talking and talking and talking and talking without having a drink. So, all right, we're gonna try the table now. I'm gonna try to adjust the camera so you can see the table. Destroy the infernal. So, let's see. You guys ready for this? It's still wobbly. It is. Is it better? I don't know. It's not the leg levelers. I think it's just the nature of this kind of table. This is it's funny because when I was at Southern Fried Game Room Expo, there was a bar table there. It was like a light up one. It was actually really cool. And I looked at it and it was wobbly. I think all of these bar tables are just wobbly. Look at. Is it better? I don't know. I think it is. I don't know. Do we get sandbags? I don't think we're fixing this, guys. I gave it my best shot here. I'm out of ideas. So, all right, let's actually, before we start viewer mail, I just want to let you guys know that I created an Instagram account. I actually used to have an Instagram account and I deleted it a long time ago. When Facebook bought them, I bailed. And anyway, I came back. I thought Instagram I could do. It's easy enough. It's just, cause I like sharing photos. So if you guys want to follow me, go on the Instagram. My Instagram name is John's Arcade. One word, John's Arcade, Johns Arcade. One word, John's Arcade on Instagram. Follow me. I'm gonna try to post a lot of photos. Actually, I'm gonna keep up with that. Maybe when I'm doing stuff, road trips, arcade, basement, whatever. I'm gonna do as much as I can on the Instagram. I guess it's kind of I always tweet photos. I'm on Twitter too, BLKDOG7. But I usually just tweet photos. Maybe I'll go to Instagram and then tweet them to Twitter. So whatever. All right, let's do some viewer mail. I printed out a few here. Let's see if we can get them in order. If you guys want to participate in the viewer mail segment, you can do so at blkdog7@gmail.com. That's blkdog, the number 7@gmail.com, blackdog7@gmail.com. In the subject line, please put viewer mail. Okay. The first one here is from Johnny. It's hot down here. Hey, John, I had a great time at Brofest, and I fell in love with playing pole position. One of my favorite games, guy. After returning to Canada, I had to get one, okay? I managed to pick up a non-working one on Craigslist for $200. It was showing a ROM 6 error on the monitor. Since the monitor works, I thought it'd be a simple PCB swap. My other option was to purchase Adam's board when it came out. When I looked inside the cabinet, there was no FCC cage, and the PCB looked different. It had no Atari symbols on it. The PCB seemed to be directly powered to the board through Molex connectors. I guess this is a Namco board and an American Atari upright cabinet, and it since turned into a nightmare to get the game working. I had a hard time removing the harness from the PCB because it looks like they put solder on the edge connector. After reconnecting everything, I can't even get the error message on the monitor. I get garbage text on the screen. I cannot find this board or buy it anywhere. I'm having trouble finding documentation. Will Adam's FPGA board even work on this? Are the pinouts different? Can you simply just swap the harness to fit an Atari board? Should I reflow the solder on the board, on the edge connector? What's a ROM 6 error? Any help would appreciate, Johnny. And by the way, Johnny is the guy that gave me those Robertson bits. So Johnny, thank you. All right, so I did some quick research, and as far as I can tell, the Namco pinout and the... and by the way, let's back up. So a pole position is a game that was designed by Namco, not Atari, okay? Namco in Japan created it. And they released the game in Japan as a Namco pole position game. They licensed the game to Atari in the USA, okay? And so Atari then built their own cabinets, put their own monitors in there, made their own harness, and they used the Namco PCB or their own version of it, or their, and Namco's, they basically licensed the game, and then Atari distributed it in the US, okay? Now, based on my limited research, it looks to me that the Namco pinout and the Atari pinout are identical, okay? Because I'm pretty sure Namco designed that game, the PCB that Atari is using, because it has all those custom Namco chips, right? And I went on mikesarcade.com, and I looked at the pole position pinout, and it said in parentheses Atari and Namco. So I do believe that they're both the same. Now it looks like the connectors though on the Namco are on a different spot. Okay, this is a really crappy photo, but the connectors are down here instead of on the edge. Okay, but you still have two edge connectors. Actually, let's go over to my pole position, and we're going to go into the depths of the basement. And so you said they soldered the wires to the edge connector. God, that's so common, man, because the pole position really generates a lot of heat at that edge connector, and the edge connector burns up. And you could see that I actually modded mine, okay? So I ran jumper wires that basically to the test points here, okay? And I did a video on this, right? So basically, I have power still going through the edge connector, right? But the edge connector gets hot, and you start getting resistance, and it starts burning up, right? And so this edge connector can't really handle the current. So what I did is I let the power continue using the edge connector, but I also jumpered the power to these test points. So essentially the net here is that I have power going through the edge connector and also power going through these wires to the test points, okay? But Johnny, I really think that the pinout and the edge connectors are exactly the same on the Namco and the Atari. And if someone disagrees with me, please comment in this video. But based on what I read on Mike's Arcade, it's calling the Atari and the Namco pinout exactly the same, okay? I really think that you could get an Atari PCB and plug it into your harness, okay? It sounds like your harness has been hacked to all hell, though. So you got to undo whatever someone did, okay? And I would go to mikesarcade.com, look at the pole position pinout, compare it to your harness, and see if it all starts making sense. Does it all line up, okay? Now, if they put solder on the edge connector, don't recreate that. That's that's bad practice, okay? If anything, you should run the wires to the jumpers like I did. I wouldn't solder the edge connector. Let me go back to your email and see what it said. Because you're asking, he had a hard time removing the harness from the PCB because they put solder on the edge. See, that, a lot of operators did that. The edge connector would start getting loose, okay? And they would just put solder on all the pads on the edge connector and then just jam the edge connector back on. I'm even guilty of doing that. I tried that with my Tempest because someone else did it and I recreated it. Eventually, I just wiped all that solder away. But I think it's a bad idea because it does ultimately. You really should redo your edge connector. That's the proper solution. Okay, put a new edge connector on. It's a lot of work. I have videos on it. Go back to the Pac-Man video. It's gonna be the same methodology. But really, Johnny, I think you need to print the pinouts. Look at your game, compare the pinouts to your game, and see if it all makes sense. I suspect, and I'm pretty positive, it's going to be the same. You should have a 15-pin edge connector and a 22-pin edge connector. It's actually 44 and 30, 15 per side. So you should have 15 blades on one of the edge connectors and then 22 blades on the other. And if you do, I think it's pretty safe to assume that Atari and Namco are the same, but I would also take the exercise of comparing what it says on the Atari Namco pinout to your wires, because it says here pin 1 on the 30 is ground, pin 2 is +5. Well, ground's typically black and +5 is typically 5 volt is red. And you can also look at the PCB and you can look at the traces, and usually the ground ones are fatter and the 5 volts one are fatter. And just compare this to your board, to your harness, make sure it all jives. I suspect it will. And then I think the best course of action here is to put a new edge connector on, do the voltage mods that jumper the voltages to the test points. I have videos on that. And then as far as your ROM errors go, well, it could be bad sockets. It could be that the ROMs are just fine. I mean, ROM 6 error, it's basically the game is doing a self-test. It's testing the ROMs, it tests like the checksums or whatever, and it's saying that ROM 6 is bad. Okay, the EEPROM number 6. If you look at the board, it should be labeled, and I would reseat all of those chips first, okay? Take a screwdriver, lift them all up, and then put them all back in, and do that carefully. I've certainly shown that stuff in my videos, but if your game was my game, I would get my head around the harness, I would clean it up, I would reseat all the chips, I would reseat the connectors between the boards, and then I would see what happened. And also, let's get back to basics here. Check your voltages. You gotta make sure you have the proper voltages, and really you should be doing that first. Pin 2 is 5 volts on the 30-pin edge connector. Do you have it? Test those voltages. I know it's a little daunting, and hopefully what I just said makes sense. But you just kind of got to get your head around what's going on, check your voltages, reseat the chips, clean up whatever someone else did, replace the edge connector, do the voltage mods. I have a video. And Johnny, if you need any more help, let me know, bro. And by the way, thanks again for those Robertson bits. That was an awesome help. It is really hot down here. Okay. Next one is from Kayla. Hi, my name is Kayla, and I have 2 questions for you. My first question is, where did you buy your Mario Brothers arcade machine? Second question, do you think Mario Brothers arcade machines will still be available to find in like 10 years or so? Because I'm 14. I'm 14 years old, and my first game ever was Mario Brothers, and when I grow up and I get a job, I'd like to save up for that game, Kayla. Or Kali, I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. Kalle. All right, so Kaylee wants to know where I got my Mario Brothers, and also, are they going to be around in 10 years? They better be around in 10 years. All right, let's go look at my Mario Brothers. Okay, Kaylee? So Kayla. Okay, so here's my Mario Brothers. I bought this a long time ago. I bought it on eBay, okay, and I sniped it. It was a listing on eBay. It was in Connecticut. I got this about 6-7 years ago. I paid, I believe, $325 or so. Something like that. $325, okay? Now, today in 2015, these games are commanding a little heavier price tag. Somewhere, I don't know, $500-600 feels right to me. I think guys are trying to get $800 these days. I don't know. Mario Brothers has gone up in value for sure, Kaylee. So I think in 10 years, listen, you need to get a job. You're 14, okay? I had my first job when I was 15. And with that first paycheck, I bought a Nintendo Entertainment System. Yes, I did. My first ever paycheck ever in this world purchased an NES, okay? And you can do it too, all right? So you get it at 15, I think you can get a job, right? Or 16 at least. You're saying 10 years? You can get it sooner than that. Save your money. Come on. I think I suspect though you're in Europe, right? And you're not in the U.S. A different climate there. I don't different collecting climate. So I'm not sure, but yes, I do believe that these games will still be for sale and available in 10 years. But I think you should get one sooner. I think you could do it. Get a job. You know, you're almost 15, almost 16. Get a job. Save your money. You could probably get enough money in 6 months, a year, and buy yourself a Mario Brothers. Enjoy it now while you can before it goes too high in value. And it'll be an investment for you, right? Maybe you can get one for $600 and sell it for $1,000 in a couple years. I don't know. But the young people like John's Arcade. All right, here's another youngin'. I'll just read this one because it kind of got me thinking. Because I know a lot of young guys watch the videos. And girls, right? Maybe, I don't know. This is from Jonah. Hi, John. I'm 8 years old, and I love your videos. I have an arcade machine. I would like to know if you could stop swearing so I can watch your show without headphones. Thank you, Jonah. Jonah, I gotta work on that because I know that a lot of young people watch my videos and I shouldn't be swearing on these videos. But John's a potty mouth. I don't know what to tell you. Don't be a John, okay? You know, when I was at Southern Fried Game Room Expo, I had some parents come up to me. I had parents come up to me because these parents brought their kids to see me, okay? And it was very eye-opening because I was like, oh man, a lot of kids do watch this. I should not swear. I have kids myself, but so a lot of kids watch this. So John's got to work on that. I know. I'm naturally John. I don't know what to do about it. But I imagine if you're 14 or 15. Okay, so my kids are around that age, right? And if I went in their bedroom and some lunatic in his basement was swearing, I would say, you're not watching that stuff. I get it, okay? I totally get it. I am a parent. I have kids your age. So if I went in my daughter's room and they're watching a potty mouth guy, I'd say, no more YouTube. You're done. You're cut off. I get this. So... All right, next one's from Joey. Hey, John, long-time watcher, first-time writer. I saw the iRobot video, and I had something that has been bugging me to ask, okay? My question, what are you going to do with those tokens you found in the cabinet? Would you be willing to send me one? I kind of want to start a collection of old arcade tokens. Anyway, keep the videos coming. Can't wait for more computer space videos. Take care, Joey. The Plockman Trip Nemo. All right, I had a few people ask me this, okay? And it was surprising to me, but when we opened up the iRobot, on the bottom, we found all these tokens. And they were from a Bally Le Mans arcade, which I guess turns out is somewhere in the Midwest, right? And it's like in Kansas City or something, or Oklahoma, I don't know. But I got a pile of these tokens, and they're pretty cool. They're vintage 80s, right? And so I've had a bunch of people contacting me and saying they want the tokens, which surprised me. So this guy, actually, Joey the Plockman, was one of them, and he asked me on the John's Arcade forum also, and also in this email, and I said, Joey, yeah, I'll send you some tokens. Just give me your address. I'll stick some in an envelope and mail them to you. So I've got like a bunch of these tokens. If anyone else wants the tokens, I'll mail them out, okay? The first 10 people that email me, okay, at blkdog7@gmail.com. I know this is not a big deal. It's just a token, right? Maybe I'll throw some other stuff in there. The first 10 people, whatever I can stick in an envelope, that email me at blkdog7@gmail.com. In the subject line, just put tokens, nothing else, okay? The first 10 people that want tokens, I will send all of you tokens, okay? Why not? It's cute, it's fun, right? They're kind of cool, though. I mean, I could see getting into collecting tokens. I could. Because there's a lot of cool tokens from the 80s, you know? Lots of arcades, Aladdin's Castle, Galaxy World, Chuck E. Cheese, Showbiz, all that stuff. Is the table better? I don't think it is, guys. So, well, guys, that's it for the video. I don't know. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's a silly video. But you know what? We got to hang out. I wanted to hang out with you guys today, and I just... It got so late on Saturday, and I'm like, you know, I'm going to clean the garage. I'm going to, you know, decorate. I'm going to hang stuff. Basically, my world was getting really messy, okay? And there's stuff everywhere. The skateboards were all over the garage. Those Dragon's Lair and Space Ace posters I was tripping over. So I spent most of today doing this stuff, you know, putting the Tony Hawk board up and that board, and I hung the Dragon's Lair and Space Ace posters in the garage. I really cleaned the garage. So I did a little bit of housekeeping this weekend. I really needed to do it because my life was getting very disorganized. And I thought this would be a good video also to address the table. I don't know if we were successful. I think it's a little bit better. Maybe not. I think what's amplifying it is seeing the popcorn maker. I do. I think the popcorn maker really amplifies the issue. So maybe when I do the camera, I'll be careful. we won't see the popcorn maker. So, all right. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. So I'll see you guys very soon. You know, I'm in 2 video a week mode, and I'm gonna try to stick to that, guys. I am. So. What else? I don't know. Follow me on the Instagram. I think that'd be fun. Let's communicate on there. John's Arcade on Instagram. Twitter, of course, blkdog7. Of course, if you guys want to support me, that is an option for you. If you go to YouTube, there is a support button. People in Europe have asked me a lot if they can support me, and they've asked me for my PayPal address. It's the same email that we use in the viewer mail. So if you guys want to support me, go to YouTube. My homepage is a support button. You know, you want to kick in some shekels. You know, I use that money to invest in the channel, to buy tools, to buy equipment, and all that stuff. It's all been put to good use. You know, wireless microphones. We bought the desoldering iron, you know, the lights. You know, I'm constantly investing in this channel, and I want to make it better. So if you guys want to support me, definitely go to the YouTube channel and push support and throw some shekels my way. And trust me, I'm taking all that money and I'm putting it back into this world so I can just keep giving you guys interesting content, you know. Anyway, enough of that. So I hope you enjoyed the video. That's going to do it. I'll see you very soon. Check out my podcast, Video Game Outsiders, at videogameoutsiders.com, and Arcade Outsiders at arcadeoutsiders.com. All right, guys, I am done. I'll see you next time. Later, and bye.